What's up everyone? So I thought for today's video I would sit down and just make a quick initial impressions video on the new G22 BMW 4 Series, which BMW actually unveiled today. For any of you that have been subscribed to this channel or know me on a personal level, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of BMW. I'm a huge fan of the products that they offer. And not just that, I'm a huge fan of their coupes. Every BMW I've owned in the past has been a coupe. I had an E92 328i, I had an E92 335i, had an F22 M235i from the 2 Series, and I currently have an F82 M4. I'm a huge fan of BMW coupes because I think in the past they've just been such beautiful cars. Not only do they perform well, but they just look so gorgeous on the road from just about every angle. So the next generation of 4 Series was so exciting for me. And this is something that I certainly anticipated quite a bit because I'm a current 4 Series owner. I was really excited to see what the next generation is going to bring to the table. So without further ado, if you could leave a thumbs up on this video and subscribe if you are new to the channel down below, let's get into my thoughts on this car. Well, of course, we know that the 4 Series is going to have a lot of expected traits already. It has a wider track than the current 3 Series. It sits lower than the current 3 Series. It's physically wider than the previous gen F32 4 Series. Proportionally, from a dimension standpoint, everything is tailored towards a much more sporty body style, and everything is tailored towards a much more sporty chassis for the driver. The car is longer, the car is wider, and it sits lower. Not really a surprise there, right? They also unveiled the car in a number of different model variants. So we have the 430i in the United States, the 430i xDrive, and then the current flagship is the M440i xDrive. And yes, there will be a G82 M4, but that's not going to be unveiled until later this year in the month of September, where I believe BMW is going to be unveiling the G80 M3 and the G82 M4 side by side with each other. So I'll save my thoughts for that car in a future video down the road. In this video, when you hear me referring to the current 4 Series, I'm going to be mainly talking about the M440i xDrive because that's their top of the line model. It's the only one that's going to feature a 6-cylinder currently, and I think it is an exciting car to a large regard. So this M440i xDrive is going to feature the BMW B58 engine. It's going to make about 380-ish horsepower in the United States. It's paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission as the only option. It's only offered in xDrive, all-wheel drive. And interestingly, it's one of the first BMWs to actually feature a 48-volt mild hybrid system within the vehicle itself. Now, what is this specifically? BMW has been a little bit vague in terms of what they mean by this, but from a technical standpoint, what I believe this is just a electric generator in the car that's placed somewhere. And what happens is during deceleration of the vehicle, this electric generator is charged up, and then what happens is under high acceleration bursts or high performance driving output, things of that nature, where a lot of load and stress on the engine is placed, what happens is this generator will take over the vehicle's electronic systems, which therefore reduces the load and strain on the engine itself, so therefore it can be more efficient in terms of power. It'll do 0 to 60 in about 4.3 seconds, and it's going to be pretty quick. I think, again, this is all stuff that we expected, but let's address the elephant in the room here and talk about the design language of this car. And man, oh man, is this thing controversial. Here's what I think. Personally, I commend and greatly respect BMW for taking such a drastic departure in terms of design language over the previous 4 Series, because one of the biggest criticisms of the F32 4 Series was the fact that it didn't distinguish itself enough from the 3 Series sedan. And if BMW is going to introduce the 4 Series coupe as its own series, it needs to have physical characteristics that distinguish itself amongst the 3 Series counterpart, especially if you're going to be increasing the MSRP by a substantial amount. And so BMW clearly has taken that criticism and applied it to this current Gen 4 Series and has come out with a very bold design. Do I think they pulled it off? Me personally, I do not think so. I am quite disappointed by the design of this car. I'm not a fan of the front fascia. I think that the kidney grills themselves are probably the most significant deterrent of this design. I think overall the car actually looks pretty decent from a side profile perspective. It has a very sporty and elegant stance to it. The headlights look good if you get the full LED laser light versions. I think they look pretty nice, but if you're opting for the standard non-full LED headlamps, I don't even think those look good as well. And one thing that bugs me so incredibly much is the fact that these kidney grills don't even seem to have been thought through on this car. And numerous countries across Europe and different states in the US, most places mandate the fact that you need to have a front number plate or a front license plate on your vehicle. And in the press unveiling of this new 4 Series, the front license plates just look absolutely atrocious paired with the kidney grills on this car. The front end just is totally killed. And I think a big part of the design language of this vehicle was incorporating those massive kidney grills onto this car. BMW clearly wanted that to be a bold statement, a big show point for this vehicle. But then the fact that you have to slap a horizontal license plate on it, especially in Europe with the longer number plates that you see, I think it totally kills the design language of the front end of this car, and it just looks so unbelievably awkward and bizarre. And I've tried to look at this car from every angle, from every image, from every exterior video that I've seen. I've tried so hard to like it. I want to like the car so much, and I've tried, but unfortunately I just cannot get myself to like it. And maybe this will change down the road. Maybe I will start to have more of an appreciation for it, but I just think the F32 and F82 4 Series generation set the bar so high in terms of a sleek, tasteful, elegant design that it is very, very hard for me to like this current gen even more from an exterior design standpoint. Again, I do commend and respect BMW for taking such a bold approach to the design of their new vehicle. I think that's something that is quite necessary and quite needed in BMW today. But again, I don't think they pulled it off. I think, again, from the side profile, this looks like a good looking car. The rear isn't that bad as well, but I think this car truly falls apart in the front end. From an interior standpoint, it's nice to see that they've upgraded the 4 Series quite a bit in terms of the materials that are used, particularly in many areas where in the F32 4 Series you would find a lot of plastics. They've now replaced that with soft touch padded materials, and the interior of this vehicle has a much more premium feel in my honest opinion. The interior, it just feels like a copy and paste of the 3 Series, and there just isn't anything that sets the 4 Series interior apart from the 3 Series. The other thing that's really unfortunate is the fact that they don't offer the M440i in a rear wheel drive variant. The mild hybrid system and the mandatory all-wheel drive in this car has also brought the curb weight up a significant amount. This car weighs just about 4,000 pounds flat compared to the previous 435i or 440i models that weighed right about 3,600-ish pounds or so. And I definitely believe this is going to be a detrimental effect on the performance of this vehicle, even with the intelligent differentials and drivetrain systems that this car may have. Overall, I think when I saw the spy images initially, I was nervous to see what the car was going to look like when they finally unveiled it, and because of that, I naturally set my expectations really low because I thought I wasn't going to like it. So when they did unveil it, it wasn't as bad as I was anticipating, but is it good? I don't think so. Personally, I think many of the other German competitors in this series of vehicles offered by Audi and Mercedes, I think offer a much better looking vehicle and a much better looking product. And unfortunately, I'm just not the biggest fan of this. So thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the very end of this video, I would appreciate your support. If you could go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new to the channel for more epic automotive news. Do you guys agree with me? What are your thoughts? I definitely want to hear them in the comment section down below. So if you disagree, please feel free to let me know. If you agree, let me know as well. With all that being said, I'll catch you all in the next one. Take it easy.